Have you seen Fantastic Beasts 3? Are you a big Harry Potter fan? Well, if you've said yes, then you're gonna like this video because we're gonna tell you about all of the Harry Potter Easter eggs, references, and callbacks in Fantastic Beasts 3. We've got loads to tell you, but there are loads of spoilers for the new movie, which means beware of the spoilers headed your way. Alright, grab a seat and get comfortable because it's time to start. What is right and what is easy? Is a Goblet of Fire reference. The plot of Fantastic Beasts 3 is pretty political, and it's all based on how important it was that Gellert Grindelwald was elected to be Supreme Mugwump as head of the International Confederation of Wizards. However, Dumbledore didn't want that to happen, so he needed to stop it. Initially, he tried approaching the leader Anton Vogel and spoke to him through Newt. He said, "What is right, not what is easy." If you remember, Dumbledore said this in his speech in the Goblet of Fire after Cedric Diggory died. He said, "Dark and difficult times lie ahead. Soon we must all face the choice between what is right and what is easy." Did you pick up on that reference? I think it's very clever because it's such a Dumbledore thing to say, but it would have slipped by me if I hadn't checked. I'm sure the hardcore fans picked this one out, but did you pick out the rest? Where the Harry Potter theme music plays. We all know the Harry Potter theme song like the back of our hands. This is why you must have heard it when it was played in the movie. Yes, the movie didn't begin with the Harry Potter music, but when Newt and his group end up at Hogwarts, the song begins to play. That must have made a lot of people smile when that happened because I know it made me happy. Did you catch the music when it was playing, or did it slip by you? Dumbledore's Magic Watch. This is one interesting thing that people who are big fans of the books might have caught on to. The Harry Potter movies left out Dumbledore's magical pocket watch, even though it was in 2 of the books. However, it showed up in Fantastic Beasts 3. If you remember, Jude Law's Hogwarts teacher uses this watch to find credence. Actually, this same watch is how Dumbledore found out that Hagrid was running late to drop Harry Potter off at 4 Privet Drive in 1981. This watch is pretty cool, and it was a shame that it never made it to the movies, but it's been used now and we're happy to see it. Did you notice the watch? Did you know it's in the books as well? Or did you think it was something new? Minerva McGonagall's cameo. Everyone loves McGonagall because how can you not? She's a staple character in the Harry Potter franchise, but it's sad that we haven't had any more of her in Fantastic Beasts. Except there was a cameo of her character in the 3rd movie. Except there's something weird about this cameo. According to Harry Potter history, McGonagall wouldn't have been born yet because she was born in 1935, which is later. So is this cameo really McGonagall, or is it a relative perhaps? Who knows? Do you have any theories on it? It's quite an interesting one to think about. Aberforth Dumbledore's Magic Mirror. A good magic mirror is what every magic movie needs, and this movie was no different. Yes, we all know that the reveal of Credence being Aberforth Dumbledore's son is not the twist that we wanted, but it works well with the plot and leads to a satisfying ending. Their relationship continues to be explored throughout the movie, especially with the constant communication through that mirror. How does this connect with Harry Potter? Well, we can tell that this foreshadows that Aberforth is Harry Potter's guardian angel in the movies. You know that enchanted mirror that Dumbledore has? The hand mirror? Well, that's where they communicate. Yes, it doesn't make complete sense, but it does tie into the Harry Potter world pretty nicely. Did you catch this mirror Easter egg? What do you think about Aberforth being Harry's guardian angel? Also, keep watching because we have even more interesting connections between Fantastic Beasts 3 and the Harry Potter series. Dumbledore's office password. We see throughout the movie that Dumbledore and Jacob don't have a very good relationship. It's so bad that Dumbledore wasn't invited to Jacob's wedding for whatever reason. However, that doesn't mean that Jacob wasn't important to Dumbledore, because he was. In the movie, Jacob was tricked by a group of Slytherin students to eat some cockroach clusters. Gross. Albus finds out and obviously he has to help the poor guy. However, if we jump to 50 years in the future, Dumbledore's password is cockroach clusters to his office. This could be a tribute to Jacob, and it shows that maybe he did actually like Jacob. What do you think? Is this a Jacob tribute, or are we just looking too much into it? Also, do you think there are any other tributes hiding anywhere? The Room of Requirements. Everyone knows the Room of Requirements, and it is a very useful place for people to hide things. However, Fantastic Beasts could have used it a bit better, but we're not here to critique their decisions. Anyways, in the movie, this room was very important because it was where a giant bell portkey was kept, so Newt and his gang went to fight Grindelwald. What do you think the Room of Requirements should have been used for in the movie? Do you think there was a better purpose for it? A battle of the 7 Potters. We all remember that scene in the Deathly Hallows where there were 7 identical Harry Potters. The Order of the Phoenix did this because they hoped to confuse Voldemort with the identical copies. This was used in Fantastic Beasts by Dumbledore himself. This was near the ending where Bunty got 4 identical duplicates of his traveling case. Why did he get duplicates of his traveling case? It was to hide the Quillen, of course. This was clearly a nod to what happened in the movies. I'm sure that many people caught this Easter egg because everyone remembers when there were 7 Harry Potters in one room. Did you catch this egg? Do you think duplicating the case was the best move? The Monster Book of Monsters. In the finale in Bhutan, we see that the followers of Grindelwald end up opening all of the fake suitcases. One of the suitcases was filled with books, and what book was inside? Well, it was the Monster Book of Monsters, which ended up starting a mass attack on the villains. This was a great tribute to the original franchise because everyone remembers this book. It's quite hard to forget. The book first made its appearance in the Prisoner of Azkaban movie, where Hagrid puts it on his reading list for his Care of Magical Creatures course. It was definitely an interesting read, right? It must have brought a lot of excitement once they learned to tame the book. What was your reaction when you saw the book appear? Were you as excited as me? The Deathly Hallows sign. You must have seen this egg. What's interesting is how this symbol has ended up becoming too meaningful to fans, when the original meaning of this symbol in the book is one to be feared and is an in-universe analog of a swastika. We see the symbol briefly in the movie on a door in Grindelwald's headquarters. Also, it was used again when he modified the symbol and introduced his symbols for a more political logo. Did you know that interesting fact about the Deathly Hallows symbol? I didn't. I was really surprised when I first read about it. The origin of the Golden Snitch. We all remember when Quidditch was dropped from the Harry Potter movies, but it did show up in the Fantastic Beasts 3. Viewers would have noticed that in the first Hogwarts scene, there were 2 seekers racing to get the Golden Snitch above the school's towers. Later on, in the enchanted suitcases, there were loads of Quidditch balls, and the bludger is causing some real mayhem. Then Dumbledore grabs a snitch and puts it in his pocket. I wonder if this is the snitch that will be used later on when Harry Potter goes to school. I mean, he is a pretty sentimental kind of guy, so it wouldn't be shocking if it was. Did you see the snitch? Do you think Dumbledore used it during Harry's first game? Always. In Fantastic Beasts 3, we see that they tried to turn Credence into another version of Snape because they know we couldn't get enough in the movies. That is why they put trauma and tragedy in his backstory. However, when he was dying and he asked Aberforth if he ever thought of him, he said, "Always." This is a clear nod to Snape when he said the same thing as his tribute to Lily Potter. Did you always catch that? It also helps that they look kind of familiar. Well, that's all we have for you in this video. Did you catch all of those Easter eggs when you watched the movie? Which one got you super excited? Are there any that we missed? Leave a comment down below because you know we like to hear your thoughts.